Hello, welcome to Sunshine Reports. I am Obi Chukwemeka Oti. Former member of the National Assembly representing Akoko Southwest Southeast Federal Constituency in the 8th Assembly, Babatunde Kolawole has been sworn in as Ondo State Chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC. The exercise was conducted through consensus as the aspirants were unanimously adopted by delegates from the 203 wards across the 18 local government areas of the state. Omora Lagbenji reports.
5 participants from each of the 203 wards across the 18 local government areas of Ondo State arrived early at the International Event Center, the Dome, for the State Congress. The verification exercise commenced promptly with security officers strategically positioned to maintain law and order. The center was filled to capacity as Olufemi Fadairo moved the motion for the affirmation of the 36 aspirants, which was duly seconded.
I, Olufemi Dennis Fadairo, ably moved the adoption and affirmation of all our 36 executives for Ondo State Congress. I so moved.
All 36 aspirants were presented to the delegates, who unanimously adopted them as members of the party state working committee. The exercise was presided over by the chairman of the State Congress Committee, Ogbuna Obikwe, who commended the peaceful conduct of the Congress.
Those who support that the following president today be elected as state APC executive. Say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
In his acceptance speech, the newly elected chairman, Babatunde Kolawole, described his emergence as a collective victory for all members and a demonstration of the party's commitment to internal democracy, while appreciating Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa for ensuring a level playing field and the peaceful conduct of the exercise. Mr. Kolawole pledged transparent, discipline, and inclusive leadership, declaring that era of internal divisions within the party must give way to consolidation and growth.
We shall energize our grassroots. We will empower our youth, not just with slogans, but with structure and responsibility. We will elevate our women, not just in words, but in leadership positions. We will strengthen our elders, honoring their wisdom and experience. No one will be sidelined. No one will be ignored. But let me be clear, unity also requires discipline, loyalty, and commitment. We must speak with one voice. We must act with one purpose. We must protect the integrity of this party at all times.
Expressing delight over the smooth conduct of the exercise, Ondo State Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa lauded party members for the peaceful and orderly process, describing it as a confirmation of unity and harmonious coexistence among members in the state.
In Ondo State, we understand clearly that the party is supreme. Personal ambitions must align with collective interest. Individual aspirations must give way to party stability and progress.
He urged them to work towards the progress of the party and the re-election of President Bola Tinubu for a second term in office, highlighting his commitment to infrastructural development, productivity, and economic reforms across the country.
We are proud of the visionary and courageous leadership of our dear President Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR. His bold reform agenda, his commitment to infrastructural renewal, and his determination to reposition Nigeria for long-term economic stability and demonstrate true leadership. Across the country, critical infrastructure projects are being revived and expanded, and difficult but necessary reforms are being implemented with clarity of purpose. We in Ondo State remain fully aligned with the renewed hope agenda. We shall continue to mobilize support and stand firmly behind the President as we work towards his re-election.
Participants also set agenda for the newly elected officers.
We hope, because of his past events, that he was going to perform. He's going to make the party to be united, and he's going to move the party forward. I'm also with the governor, that is a very hard-working governor, very liberal one, a very courageous one, and one that keeps everybody together. We're sure that Ondo State is going to move forward in terms of All Progressive Congress.
New chairman has said we have to embrace everybody, bring them into the fold, and work together for the progress of the party and for the future of this state, for the development of this state in particular. This Congress is not about individual, it's about the party putting structures in place that will develop Ondo State.
The 36-member state working committee comprises 8 women and 28 men. Omoriola Humbiji, Osrc News.
And as Nigeria prepares for the 2027 general elections, attention is again shifted to campaign finance regulations under the amended Electoral Act. With significantly high spending ceilings approved by the National Assembly, many are asking if these new figures represent stronger regulation or simply an expansion of how much candidates can legally spend. Our correspondent Sunday Adeyanju reports.
Nigeria's amended Electoral Act has introduced major changes to campaign finance limits ahead of the 2027 general elections. One of the major striking adjustments is the upward review of spending caps for candidates seeking elective office, a sharp increase from what was provided in the previous Electoral Act. Under the new provisions, presidential candidates can now spend up to 10 billion naira, doubling the previous limit of 5 billion. Governorship candidates are permitted to spend 3 billion naira, up from 1 billion. For the National Assembly, senatorial candidates now have a ceiling of 500 million naira, while House of Representatives candidates may spend up to 250 million. At the state level, House of Assembly candidates are allowed a maximum of 100 million naira. Lawmakers say the increases reflect current economic reality, rising inflation, escalating media costs, logistics, security, and nationwide mobilization expenses.
Look at it politically. The money being spent by our politicians on campaign issues is too much now, honestly. To finance a whole campaign issue is a lot of money. So I think this electoral, tax reform being implemented by the federal government, compared with the electoral reform will help to minimize at least to reasonable extent the amount being spent on the elections.
While the revised limits appear more flexible, observers argue that the core issue has never been the figure themselves, but compliance and enforcement. In previous elections, civil society organizations reported that actual campaign expenditures often exceeded the legal ceilings. The present question now is whether the existing monitoring mechanisms are robust enough to ensure adherence. Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) is legally empowered to monitor power finances, audit campaign returns, and sanction violations. However, concerns remain about institutional capacity, real-time financial tracking, and effective post-election auditing. The amended law still requires candidates and political parties to submit detailed financial reports after elections. It also prescribes penalties for breaches, including fines and possible disqualification.
Today you have a template to capture campaign finance over time. So the fact that it has just been reviewed somewhat is basically to just say, okay, we are trying to do one or two things to help the economy, because we all know election years are always fraught with unusual spendings, particularly dollarization and all of that. So all of these are just, maybe say, I call it maybe interim plans to see how the economy can actually survive and recuperate because of some of the midterm policies of the CBN. But the truth of the matter is that it has never been complied with. Look at the issue of campaign finance. It is not something that you can actually monitor, because over time you see people come together and say, yes, they are sponsoring this, they are sponsoring that. And what you can monitor or limit is the party and the candidate, not crowdfunding, not support, not friends of campaign, you know, all those things. So it's kind of technical and difficult. And for us as a nation, we are yet to get to that system where you can actually monitor spending, strictly speaking. We are yet to be there. So it's good. The purpose of that is if there are people who probably are being targeted, it is very easy to see how they can meet them and get them. But the truth of the matter is that it is law obeyed in breach. And of course, there are templates to that.
Yet, analysts point out that enforcement has historically been weak, with few high-profile prosecutions for campaign finance violations. Some stakeholders are calling for stronger collaboration with INEC, anti-corruption agencies, and financial intelligence bodies to track major political expenditures more effectively. Others advocate the use of technology-driven monitoring systems to detect suspicious financial flows during campaign periods.
We don't have the system that is functional in Nigeria. The EFCC will probe only those people that are not in the ruling party. The ICPC will probe those who are not in the ruling party. The police will be running after, will be guard to people in offices, and leave other parties, Nigerians, to care for themselves. So we need a system that works. Until that happens, there's no collaboration that can work in Nigeria, and it's unfortunate.
Critics, however, warn that higher ceiling could further entrench money politics and widen the gap between wealthy candidates and grassroots contenders. As Nigeria moves steadily towards 2027, the true test of this revised limit will lie not merely in the figures enshrined in law, but in transparency, accountability, and the political will to enforce compliance. For now, the debate continues. Are these tougher controls or simply higher allowances? Only the next electoral cycle will provide the answer. Sunday at Diyanju, Osrc News.
Away from politics, now for the first time in years, the Christian season of Lent and the Muslim holy month of Ramadan overlap, a development that is reshaping buying patterns across markets in Akure, the Ondo State capital. A market survey conducted by our correspondent shows that the twin fasting seasons are influencing demand for fruits and other food items, though traders report mixed fortunes amid prevailing economic realities. Our reporter, Sunday Adeyanju, again tells us more.
The simultaneous observance of Lent and Ramadan, two sacred periods marked by fasting, prayer, and self-denial among Christians and Muslims, is creating noticeable shifts in commercial activities across major markets in Akure. Our survey of fruit stalls, open markets, and roadside vendors reveals a pattern of cautious spending, selective buying, and price sensitivity among consumers. At Ojalba Market and other busy trading hubs, fruits such as oranges, bananas, pawpaw, and watermelon are prominently displayed, traditionally popular choices for breaking fast. Some fruit sellers say the overlap of the two fasting seasons has boosted demand, particularly in the evening, when both Christians and Muslim faithful prepare to break their fast.
Today are good. People dey patronize us. No matter fasting, even though for this fasting wey we dey now, people dey patronize us well. Till no matter money no dey town, sometimes no be every time you see more money. No be every time you see customer break. But sometimes customer fit come. But to thank God, our market is moving. For this fasting now, if you send money, say evening time, now that evening market, that customer used to come.
They explain that fruits are considered light, refreshing, and nutritious, making them a preferred option during fasting periods. However, not all traders share this optimism. A number of sellers describe the market as unpredictable, citing low purchasing power among residents. According to them, while interest in fruit remains high, actual sales have been affected by rising prices linked to transportation costs and supply challenges.
As of now, the price is because money no dey now, but the price of market is small now.
The survey also shows increased demand for complementary food items such as dates, vegetables, gari, rice, and beverages, Though buyers are often opting for smaller quantities, some customers admit that instead of purchasing a variety of fruits, they now prioritize cheaper alternatives such as sachet drinks or plain water to manage their budgets.
Things improve, but we did not increase our own because it's expensive. Like watermelon, we sell 300, 500. Pineapple, we got 200, 500.
Despite the mixed reactions, both traders and consumers acknowledge the nutritional importance of fruits and balanced meals during fasting. Health experts often recommend fruit for hydration, vitamins and energy, replenishment after long hours without food or water. As Lent and Ramadan continue side by side, the market survey indicates a delicate balance between spiritual commitment and economic realities, with traders adjusting prices, diversifying stock and adopting flexible sales strategies to stay afloat. For many in Akure, the overlap is not just a spiritual convergence, but also a test of resilience in the marketplace. Sunday Adeyanju, Osrc News.
The Ondo State government has directed the security agencies to intensify efforts to curbing kidnapping incidents in the state, attributing the crimes to local syndicates. According to the Commissioner for Information, Idowu Ajanaku, he stated that the government is aware of attempts to portray the state as unsafe and warned that such acts will face firm action. He mandates security agencies to clamp down on suspects, investigate and prosecute them. Residents advised to speak out against crime. Ajanaku reiterated commitment to protection of lives and property, vowing to maintain peace and stability in the state. The Handicap Education Foundation, HANDEF, has marked a milestone with the graduation of 9 of its students in a ceremony designed to empower and inspire. The event celebrated the academic and vocational accomplishments of the beneficiaries while highlighting HANDEF's mission to promote self-reliance and financial independence for persons with disabilities. Our reporter, Sunday Adeyanju, has details.
Handicap Education Foundation, HANDEF, founded by Olufunke Agagun, wife of former Ondo State Governor Dr. Olusegun Agagun, celebrated the graduation of 9 students in a heartwarming ceremony. HANDEF, established with the mission to empower persons with disabilities through education, vocational training, and entrepreneurship, aims to create opportunities that allow participants to live independently and contribute meaningfully to society. The graduation ceremony brought together stakeholders, well-wishers, and beneficiaries to celebrate not only the students' achievements, but also the foundation's ongoing impact in transforming lives. The HANDEF program officer, Philip Joel, explained that the initiative is geared towards enabling participants to generate sustainable income rather than relying solely on traditional employment.
Mamas deem it fit that even if she is paying them salaries cannot be dependent on, like when you are working for yourself. And that was why she deemed it fit that these persons with disability should be empowered, should be trained. So we train them in their preferred, skill area. So thereafter, she empowered them, and we are seeing them off now into the labor market. They are not going into the labor market to search for work. They have been established, they have been set up already.
Stakeholders expressed deep appreciation to Mrs. Olufunke Agagun for her visionary leadership and unwavering dedication to advancing the welfare of persons with disabilities.
This will empower them and make them self-reliant instead of roaming about the streets begging for alms. So I appreciate the fact that HANDEF is able to mobilize these people across the state to train them in one vocation or the other.
A major highlight of the occasion was the empowerment of the graduates through the presentation of cash gifts and checks to support their entrepreneurial ventures. Founder of HANDEF, Mrs. Olufunke Agagun, represented by Mrs. Bike Akinduro, encouraged the beneficiaries to make prudent, productive use of the cash gifts.
Beyond training, we empowered beneficiaries with tools of their trade or startup grants, because our goal has never been charity but capacity. We are committed to ensuring that our focal persons not only earn a livelihood but become employers of labor themselves. To the glory of God Almighty, we have recorded remarkable successes.
The graduates themselves expressed heartfelt gratitude, pledging to invest the funds wisely to grow their businesses and improve their livelihoods.
I'll be part of the beneficiary of today's program, and Mama really tried for people with disability, and we really appreciate her. She honors us and she always wants us to be the best among the others.
Dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ màmá fún gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣe nílé ayé mi. Nígbà tí mo ṣe tán school, mo wá síbí báyìí tí mo wá ṣe training.